Let's talk about intra-abdominal pressure or core support when you're lifting. So I know that you can practice some of these things in separate places, like you might have your rehab exercise and then you have your workout of the day, and I want to try and bring those closer together or overlapping. So from a core stability standpoint, our ideal position for the core to support our back and our body as best as possible is with the rib cage, which I picture as an upside down bowl, in congruence with the pelvis. Think about that as a right side up bowl. The two should lock into place. They are stacked on top of each other. The analogy that we like to use is our core is like a Coke can or a pressurized can. Our diaphragm sits on top, our pelvic floor sits on the bottom, our abdominal muscles are in the front, not just our six packs, but also our obliques, our transverse abdominis, those deeper layers, and then our back muscles. We have multiple layers of long stabilizing back muscles. This whole canister should work as a system to support our core or to support our spine. So to do this in the best way, we need, number one, alignment. We need that rib cage and pelvis to meet one another. The two most common things that happen are, number one, sometimes we end up in this kind of position where, or even something like this, where in an effort to stay tall, or when we get tired after standing for a long time, we kind of dump into our joints. In both of these cases, either our rib cage or our pelvis is tilted forward, like if it were a bowl, it would dump the contents out the front. Our rib cage, if you think of the rib cage as a bell, that bell is rung up when we try and stand up really tall and exaggerate that. Or sometimes it's the opposite. We end up slumped, or a C curve in golf posture terms. Our upper back is really rounded, our pelvis is tucked under, and now we've got the opposite problem. But in either of these cases, our rib cage and our pelvis are no longer congruent. So the way that we're going to work on that is by softening the ribs down, softening the knees, which is most likely to put the pelvis in a good neutral position. Then place your hands around your waist. Make sure you're in the soft spot of muscle. And you're going to inhale, exhale, and then push out into your fingers. But you should still be able to breathe. So think of this like a weightlifter with a weight belt, or if you wrapped a TheraBand around your waist. When you inhale, your rib cage is going to expand in a 360-degree way. It's going to open as you inhale. As you exhale, that is going to close down and everything is going to come back together. Then when you pressurize, pushing outward, now we have tautness through all of these muscles. That canister that I was talking about, we've now pressurized. So I'm holding that right now, but I'm talking, I'm breathing. I'm not maximally braced holding my breath, aka a Valsalva. If you were to maximal contraction, no breathing and hold, that's a Valsalva. This is different. So one more time, using your fingertips as cues in your abdominals and then in your lower back, kind of like your flank. You're going to inhale, exhale, pressurize, and then hold your pressure, but not your breath. Now we should be able to live here for any lifting. If I were going to do overhead press, I'm holding that pressure so that I don't get thrown off while I strengthen my upper body. I can hold while I squat. I can hold while I deadlift. I'm holding this the whole time to maintain that nice congruency, maintain a nice neutral spine position, get that core activated in a 360-degree way, and that's going to support you in any lifting we do. So although we can work on this in isolation, we've got to put it into movement, and this is the way. Practice setting and holding that while you do any form of exercise, any form of lifting, and see how it feels. It should actually start to feel good in other joints. Maybe when you squat, you usually have hip pinching in the groin. If you start with this appropriate core contraction, you actually might minimize that hip pinch. Or if you usually get neck pain when you press overhead, you might find that if you've correctly stabilized first, you actually avoid that. So the goal isn't to be overly picky, it's to be smart about the way that we're using this core barrel to its maximum capacity to support us to lift pain-free for the long haul.